Welcome, sunny souls, to today's Reddit stories, following the pharmacist orders, hosted by Professor Moose PhD. So I'm one of the bajillions of folks who are afflicted with chronic pain and multiple different things that require medications at different times. It's lame, but I'm glad there are things I can do to help myself. A couple of years ago I moved in with my girlfriend at the time, now wife, and had to transfer pharmacies. The closest place to our new house was a pretty low traffic major generic pharmacy, so I figured, cool, that's easy. I work from home, and I can pop in during the daytime and pick up my meds. Mostly this works out. I need to pick up maybe 3 or 4 prescriptions per month, and it usually goes exactly according to plan with a minimum of fuss. Except when it came to my Humira. For those unaware, Humira is an immunosuppressant that you can use to combat things like psoriasis, but in my case, it was to help lower my immune system that seemed hell-bent on ravaging my spine. Very mainstream medication. If you live in the US, you've likely seen the terrifying ads on a regular basis. I'd been taking it for years. They have a handy auto-injector pen that makes it virtually painless and easy to take. So I was very confused when I picked up my first prescription from the new pharmacy, and it was a bottle of the medication with a simple syringe provided. Not a huge deal, I could make it work, but it hurts a heck of a lot more to inject that into my stomach than it does to use the pen, so I asked the pharmacist about it. She had no clue what I was talking about, despite the fact that my rheumatologist's script clearly said inject a pen on it. I tried to tell her what was happening, but she said she was too busy, and if in the future I didn't get the injector pen, just don't pay for the script and send it back. So a month went by, and I ordered my prescription again, making sure to call in and request over the phone that I have the pen instead of the syringe. I went and picked up my order. They're visually identical unless you open them up, and before paying for anything, I opened it up and saw that it was the syringe again. I turned to the tech and asked him to send it back and reorder the injector pen for me. The pharmacist came out in a huff immediately, demanding to know why I had opened a product that I didn't intend to accept. I told her that was literally what it was the same pharmacist told me to do last month. You said to check it before accepting, so that's what I did. She was a go for a moment. The open box of Humira was going to cost her pharmacy over $4. Zero, the American healthcare system is so damn stupid. But she then remembered our conversation. I am extremely tall, so I stick out, I think, and grumbled and shuffled back to her pill air. I now get my Humira prescription from a different pharmacy that's a good 1-minute drive farther away, but I still use their pharmacy for most of my needs. The pharmacy ordered a form of my medication that hurt a lot more than it needed to, so I protested. They told me to open my script and check before I paid for it, and that's what I did. It cost them several $1,000s as I hadn't signed for the medication as of yet. The US healthcare system is a joke show. Here is my AI opinion. Wow, that's really frustrating. It sounds like you had to go through a lot of trouble and inconvenience just to get the correct medication that your doctor prescribed. It's unacceptable that the pharmacy kept giving you the wrong thing, especially when it comes to something as important as your health. And the fact that they tried to blame you for opening the package is just ridiculous. You were right to protest and demand the correct medication, and it's good that you found a different pharmacy that can provide what you need. The US healthcare system does indeed have many problems, and this is just one example of how broken it can be. I hope you continue to advocate for yourself and get the care that you deserve. Have you ever had an issue with your medication being incorrect or not what was prescribed? How did you handle the situation, and did it get resolved? A comment from Ezra and G3LH.
I have to get my immunosuppressant from a mail-order pharmacy. They've been pretty good, even helping me get set up for copay coverage, but it means that every month they have to rush ship the injectors 1 per week, with ice packs and thick padding. How much does the shipping and packaging cost? And then I am left with disposing of the box and all the packaging. It's just more crap for landfills.
A comment from Yellow Moy.
I am so glad the packaging for the Humira generic is unique to each injection method.
If you want to listen to the latest Reddit stories, subscribing is the way to go. Just click that button and you'll never miss a video.
Snack Time Compliance. Hosted by Stamp's mum. My then GR2 child ASD was having a battle of wills with his teacher. She was a very religious, inflexible teacher who not only didn't seem to believe in ASD, but she also argued with me over my child's colorblind diagnosis. I had to pay to get a report from his eye doctor to get it added to his plan since we had one for the ASD and sometimes he needed a little help with maps or art. The eye doctor was not impressed that she knew better than he did. On to the malicious compliance. Teacher and I were often butting heads over various things related to his accommodations, so when an issue came up over snacks, my child wanted me to deal with it as well. In this case I refused, letting my child know that some things were general classroom rules that teachers can decide on and I wasn't going to get involved. Basically, the teacher wanted the more healthy snack eaten at morning recess and the less healthy one at afternoon recess. Whatever. His ASD self decided that this rule was senseless and made it his hill to die on. He refused to eat any snacks, and for some reason this was a problem. So, the VP got involved. Really, who cares if he's eating, but I digress, and offered him a banana from the breakfast program. Huge mistake, because in child's mind that's open for business. The very next day, child wants to access all the breakfast choices and see what he feels like. So the VP calls me. VP bring me up to speed. She has concern about him asking for more bananas. Me, tragic error on your part, as his brain sees that as an available option for him. Mention the healthy snack conundrum. VP should be taking him shopping to allow him to pick his own snacks, so he'll eat them. Me is usually with me and actually helps quite a bit for all the meals inside my head. Thanks for the parenting strategy /S. VP, okay, bye. Me, same. I plan to ignore this little nugget because after much special advising my bucket is empty. Child returns from school that day. We head to Target to get a baby shower gift. While shopping, child tells me his teacher also said I must allow him to help pick the snacks. Apparently, I don't know how parenting works, so thankfully the school system is here to correct all my errors. And remember, she started this little issue by her healthy snack rule. And his snacks were yogurt and a granola bar, not the best but not the worst. But I can follow orders. So, I said, child, anything the light touches here is yours to choose from. 2 items for snack, anything you want. I did not help him, to be clear, because what would be the fun in that? And the light of my life, the joy in my heart, made his choice and took them to school until they ran out. Twinkies and one of those giant, clear, barrel jars of cheese balls. I was very impressed. I'd never even bought Twinkies for him before. Unsurprisingly, the teacher sent me a note about these not being healthy choices, to which I gleefully wrote back that I was following the school's instructions, and who could have predicted those cheese balls lasted a long, long time. Here is my AI opinion. I think it's hilarious how you use malicious compliance to your advantage. It's like you were saying, okay, if you want to be so strict about the snacks, then I'll just let my child choose whatever he wants. And then your child chose Twinkies and cheese balls. That's just too funny. I can imagine the teacher's face when she saw what your child had chosen. It's like you were giving her a little taste of her own medicine. I also think it's great that you didn't help your child choose his snacks. That's a good way to teach him independence and decision-making skills. And it's not like he chose something terrible, like candy or chips. Twinkies and cheese balls aren't the healthiest options, but they're not the worst either. At least he made a choice for himself and had some fun with it. Overall, I think you handled the situation perfectly. You stood up to the teacher's inflexibility and showed her that you weren't going to take any of her nonsense. And you let your child have a little bit of fun and independence in the process. Good for you. What is your opinion on the teacher's approach to dealing with the child's snack choices? How do you think the parents should have handled the situation with the VP? Highfalutin commented.
Those cheese balls lasted a long, long time. Legend says he's still eating them to this day. Well done.
OP replied. He's eating now, but I'm sure they'd still be edible if any were left.
My old roommates want me to deep clean to their high example. Posted by Short Story Attempted. Background here is me and my 2 roommates are all moving out. I'm moving a few blocks down by the end of the month. They moved out of state from Alaska, so anything they wanted needed to be in a suitcase for the plane or in the containers U-Haul will ship out. They took 2 weeks off work to deal with the move, and I'm still working. The husband and I made an agreement that they would clean their areas, and I would clean mine. 1 bedroom, the extra room for storage, the bathroom, and the living room, which was all their stuff, and then the kitchen, since I thought they took all the cookware. Since the only things outside my bathroom and room was a single storage box of shelf-stable food, and some food in the kitchen, that is all I was supposed to clean, but it was to be at the level they did the rest. I'm posting here, so obviously they did a crap job. There's a pile of trash in every room they cleaned. The fridge has their mouldy food. All the trash cans are full. Food wrappers and half-empty bottles of water and juice on every surface. Stray cat litter and food in every room of theirs. The room and bathroom, which I was never supposed to enter, had stuff all over. The only good thing is they left the freezer and some of the pantry full, but mostly with stuff that's long expired. I am not petty enough to leave this disaster to the landlord because it's not his fault. But the carpet cleaning, deep cleaning of the bathroom, beyond normal cleaning, sweeping up the cat's areas, etc. Why the hell would I bother? Added benefit, the security deposit is entirely in their name, and because I paid my portion of the rent to them and not the landlord, I can't even be charged for the cleaning. TLDR, roommates expect me to deep clean the apartment they already left from, to their example. Then leave a mess. So I'll skip the deep clean since I can't get the security deposit anyway. Here's my AI opinion. It sounds like your roommates are not taking responsibility for their own mess and are expecting you to clean up after them. This is not fair and it's not your responsibility to clean up the mess. You have already done your part by paying your portion of the rent and following the agreement you made with them. I would suggest that you do a minimal cleaning of the common areas, such as sweeping the floors and wiping down surfaces. but you should not be expected to deep clean the entire apartment. The security deposit is in their name, so they should be responsible for any damages or messes left behind. It's important to communicate your boundaries and expectations with your roommates clearly and assertively. You can say something like, "I understand that you have moved out and I will do a minimal cleaning of the common areas, but I cannot be expected to deep clean the entire apartment. The security deposit is in your name, so you should be responsible for any damages or messes left behind." It's also important to document any damage or messes that they have left behind, as this can be useful if there are any disputes or issues with the security deposit. Take photos and make a list of any damage or messes, and send it to your roommates so they are aware of what needs to be cleaned up. Overall, it's important to prioritize your own needs and boundaries when dealing with this situation. You should not be expected to clean up after your roommates, especially if they have left a mess behind. Do you think it's fair for the OP to expect them to deep clean the apartment when they are not getting the security deposit back? Should the OP just leave the mess as is and let the landlord deal with it, or should they take the time to clean up before moving out? Professional Fence likes to add,
Take pictures. You might need them later.
OP replied, "It's probably smart. Will do. Thanks for tuning in today. Subscribe for more intriguing Reddit stories.